The global journey of coffee, its origins, expansion, and benefits. Coffee is more than a beverage, it is a cultural phenomenon, an economic powerhouse, and a daily ritual for billions of people worldwide. Its rich history spans continents, religions, empires, and trade routes. From ancient Ethiopia to modern cafés in every corner of the globe, coffee has evolved into one of the most consumed drinks in human history. This video explores the origin of coffee, its global expansion, the first users, and the scientifically supported benefits of its consumption, backed by scholarly and historical sources. The origins of coffee. The history of coffee begins in Ethiopia, where, according to legend, a 9th-century goatherd named Kaldi noticed his goats became more energetic after eating berries from a particular shrub. Curious, Kaldi tried the berries himself and experienced a burst of energy. Monks in nearby monasteries later used the berries to stay awake during long nights of prayer. The coffee plant, Coffea arabica, is native to the highlands of Ethiopia. Early evidence of coffee consumption, though anecdotal, points to Sufi monks in Yemen who brewed coffee as early as the 15th century, using it to aid concentration during prayer and meditation. Coffee's expansion through the Islamic world. Coffee's first major expansion occurred in the Arabian Peninsula, especially in Yemen. The city of Mocha, Al-Makka, became a key port for coffee trade, and the word mocha became globally associated with coffee. By the 16th century, coffee spread to Persia, Egypt, the Ottoman Empire, North Africa. Coffee was often consumed in kaveh-khana, coffee houses, which became centers for music, poetry, political discussion, and storytelling. Despite occasional bans by religious authorities who feared its stimulating effects, coffee's popularity continued to grow. Introduction to Europe and the Americas. Coffee entered Europe in the 17th century, primarily through Venetian traders and Ottoman connections. Initially met with suspicion, sometimes called the bitter invention of Satan, it was later endorsed by Pope Clement VIII, who, after tasting it, is said to have declared it too good to be left to non-Christians. Soon, coffee houses sprang up across Europe. In England, coffee houses were called penny universities for the intellectual discussions they inspired. In France, café culture boomed in Paris. In Austria, the Viennese coffeehouse tradition began after the Battle of Vienna, 1683. Coffee reached the New World in the 18th century, where it gained popularity in the United States, Caribbean, and Latin America. European colonial powers, especially the Dutch, French, and Portuguese, introduced coffee plantations to colonies in Java, Indonesia, Brazil, Colombia, and Haiti, dramatically increasing global production. The rise of the global coffee industry. By the 19th and 20th centuries, coffee had become a major global commodity. Brazil became the world's largest coffee producer by the mid-1800s and still dominates the market. The invention of instant coffee in the early 20th century, commercialized by Nestlé in 1938 as Nescafé. The specialty coffee movement in the late 20th century, led by companies like Starbucks, which emphasize gourmet blends, sustainability, and café culture. The rise of fair trade and organic coffee in response to ethical concerns about labor practices and environmental impact. First coffee drinkers, religious and cultural significance. The first consistent consumers of coffee were Sufi mystics in Yemen, who drank it during long night vigils. Coffee was both spiritual and functional, aiding wakefulness and focus. Islamic scholars and traders helped spread its use throughout the Muslim world. In Europe, coffee was first consumed by merchants and scholars. Over time, it evolved into a democratic beverage enjoyed by all classes. In colonial contexts, coffee plantations became tied to slavery and exploitation, particularly in the Americas. Thus, coffee's history is also intertwined with struggles for labor rights and equity. Coffee beans actually come from the seeds of the coffea plant, and the type of bean plays a big role in the flavor, aroma, and strength of your coffee. Here are the main types of coffee beans you'll find around the world. 1. Arabica, Coffea arabica. Arabica is the most popular coffee. It makes up about 60 to 70% of the world's coffee. Its flavor is smooth and mild, often with fruity or floral notes. And it is lower in bitterness in comparison with other coffees. Its caffeine content is lower than Robusta, about 1.2%. Arabica coffee grows in high altitudes, in places like Brazil, Colombia, Ethiopia, and Central America. It is considered as higher quality coffee, and it is often more expensive. 2. Robusta, Coffea canephora. Robusta is the second most common coffee in the world. It includes about 30 to 40% of the world's coffee. It has strong, bold, earthy flavor, and sometimes bitter with a nutty aftertaste. The amount of caffeine in Robusta is almost double the Arabica, about 2.2 to 2.7%. Robusta mainly grows in Africa and Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Uganda, Indonesia. It is often used in instant coffee and espresso blends. 3. Liberica, Coffea liberica. Liberica is a rarer type of coffee. It grows in limited regions, such as the Philippines, Malaysia, and parts of West Africa. It has a woody, smoky, and floral flavor with a somewhat fruity note. Its caffeine content is similar to Arabica. Liberica beans are larger beans with irregular shapes and they are considered an exotic variety. 4. Excelsa, Coffea excelsa. Excelsa is technically a variety of Liberica and it is sometimes classified separately. It has tangy, tart, and fruity flavor with a unique complexity. It is often used to add depth to blends. Excelsa beans are grown in Southeast Asia, especially the Philippines and Vietnam. It makes up a small fraction of global coffee but highly valued by enthusiasts. Benefits of coffee. Numerous scientific studies highlight the potential health benefits of moderate coffee consumption, typically 3 to 5 cups per day. These include 1. Enhanced cognitive function. Caffeine, the main psychoactive compound in coffee, improves alertness, concentration, and mood. May reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease. 2. Antioxidants and nutrients. Coffee is rich in polyphenol, magnesium, niacin, and potassium. Has more antioxidants than most fruits and vegetables in Western diets. 3. Reduced risk of chronic diseases. Lower risk of type 2 diabetes, stroke, and liver diseases, including cirrhosis and liver cancer. Associated with longer lifespan in some large cohort studies. From its mystical origins in the Ethiopian highlands to its place in bustling urban cafés today, coffee has had a remarkable journey. It transformed religious rituals, shaped trade empires, powered revolutions in thought and culture, and became a daily companion for billions of people. More than just a drink, coffee is a global cultural artifact, a historical force, and a scientifically supported health aid. Understanding its past helps us appreciate the cup we enjoy today. Are you a coffee fan? Which type of coffee is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching.